Grab your swimwear because in this video we're going to dive into the Shark Tank and explore the top 10 rejected Shark Tank pitches that went on to make millions. Be sure to stay to the end to discover which deal fell apart because of Spider-Man. Yes, Spider-Man. The sweet taste of success. Copa Divino is considered by many of the sharks as the one that got away. The idea was essentially a unique plastic tumbler filled with wine by the glass if you will. The concept actually appealed to the sharks.
Buy 51% of it for $600,000.
The thing was, they really only liked the cup design and they couldn't cope with the fact that the plastic tumbler had to be filled with founder James Martin's own wine. James was unwilling to sell his design without it containing his wine, so he didn't accept any deals that the sharks offered.
I am going to go buy a $1,000 bottle of wine tonight, and I'm going to drink it because I'm weeping for the opportunity lost.
After appearing on the show, Copa Divino went from selling $600,000 worth of wine cups a year to selling $5 million in products. But the story doesn't end there. James would actually return to the show for another pitch.
I'm back. Are you kidding me?
But again, the sharks only wanted the cup design. He rejected the offers for a second time and Copa Divino is still raking in the cash. His company has sold more than 40 million cups of wine. Trouble sleeping? Ever had trouble sleeping? Maybe because your mattress was too hot or too cold? Founder Mark Aramley has a solution with BedJet, a device that heats or cools a mattress depending on the ideal temperature of the bed's occupants. Basically a smart bed. But everyone knows that sharks don't sleep on mattresses, and that's probably why they were unimpressed with Mark's pitch. None of the sharks were willing to invest the $250,000 that he was looking for.
I see catastrophe. I see disaster. I see black clouds, devastation, total.
Mark had to use up all of his savings and take out a second mortgage on his house to accomplish his dream of sleeping comfortably. That paid off though, and BedJet made more than $1 million in its first year. What's that saying? A good night's sleep is priceless. We have liftoff. One of the more novel pitches on Shark Tank, founders of Rocketbook, Jake Epstein and Joe Lemay, came to the Shark Tank dressed in spacesuits. It was a whole space theme, and the idea behind Rocketbook was that it's a reusable notebook, a smart book that uploads everything written on it to the cloud and a smartphone app. Then, the pages of Rocketbook can be erased by heating the book inside a microwave. None of the sharks wanted to invest in Rocketbook. Being reusable, they thought it wouldn't get a ton of repeat customers.
Bug. And I just lost the sale because the guy doesn't have to buy it again. I'm just trying to wrap my head around nuking the book.
They also found the process of microwaving the book odd.
This is the funniest, wackiest, most ridiculous thing I've heard in a long time.
Brilliant. Thank you.
My fear is it's a great gimmick, and 2 to 3 years from now, I think people will get tired of it. So I'm out.
Despite not securing a deal on Shark Tank, Rocketbook has gone on to sell more than $10 million worth of product. Apparently people really like the idea of microwaving a notebook. Chew on that. Have you ever thought to yourself, why isn't there a good alternative to chewing tobacco? Okay, so it's not something I ever think about, but that's precisely what creators Matt and Pat thought to themselves when they created Grinds.
Hi, I'm Pat.
And I'm Matt.
And our company is Grinds. And we're here today seeking a $75,000 investment in exchange for 10% equity in our company.
Grinds are small pouches of chewable coffee designed to give the consumer a boost of energy. The sharks were actually kind of interested. Sharks Robert Herjavec and Daymond John offered Matt and Pat a deal.
Pat, honestly, I know nothing about chewing tobacco, but I want to be involved with this. I think you're going to hit a home run with this. I'll give you the $75,000 for 15%.
I'm okay with Robert in that because this is such a good deal and you guys know your stuff.
The deal unfortunately fell through after the show. Grinds, however, has kept going and now it's making close to $4 million a year. Chewable coffee, who knew? Match made in heaven. What's the best condiment? Spicy salsa, sizzling mustard, or cool coleslaw? The answer is all of the above, at least according to Julie Busher, who, during the Shark Tank's 5th season, introduced the sharks to her unique condiment, Schlosser. It combines salsa, coleslaw and mustard. It's great for a variety of different foods, including but not limited to hot dogs and burgers. At the time she appeared on Shark Tank, Julie had Schlosser in more than 3,000 supermarkets. The sharks loved Julie's presentation, but she ended up with no deal.
Wish I could do more for you. You know, I love it. I'll be a customer. I'll Schlossicize a lot, but it's not
like
really.
to get in those stadiums, Mark.
But that's not enough for me to do an investment. I'm out.
Even though Julie left Shark Tank without a deal, Schlosser still continues to be a success and is sold in more than 5,000 stores with an estimated revenue of $6.7 million. Sharks don't like shrimp. Chef Sean Davis, aka Chef Big Shake, started making shrimp burgers after his daughter declared that she was done eating meat. The shrimp patties became an overnight success, but the Sharks didn't see it that way. Davis asked the Sharks for $200,000 for 25% of his business, and he got rejected.
John, I have to say, I just don't like shrimp at all, so I'm just going out on that basis.
Chef Big Shake has gone on to become one of the most profitable Shark Tank rejections. Within a year, Davis's business did $5 million in sales, and you can now buy his products in over 22,000 stores.
This year, our projected sales are over $5 million. We're slated to go over 2,000 grocery stores across America. I'm gonna need you to keep the trip coming, man.
Soulmates. Things that go well together. Peanut butter and jelly, movie tickets and popcorn, coffee and bagels. And that's probably why the name of this dating app is called Coffee Meets Bagel. Founded by sisters Arum, Darun and Sue Kang, Coffee Meets Bagel is a dating app designed by women and geared towards women. They presented their app during Shark Tank's 6th season, and Mark Cuban was so impressed that he inquired about buying the entire company for $30 million.
Let me ask you a question. If I offered you $30 million for the company, would you take it?
No.
The sisters were unwilling to part with their creation. They turned down Mark's offer. In 2017, they raised $11.2 million in outside funding, and the company expanded from San Francisco to Seattle. Turning down $30 million from Mark Cuban seems to have paid off for the sisters, as the outside funding that they've received provides a massive capital injection, and they still retain ownership of the company. It's sinfully delicious. Cinnaholic is an American cinnamon roll bakery franchise. The company is known for its made-to-order gourmet cinnamon rolls, and it's founded by Shannon and Florian Radke. The Radkes presented their vegan, dairy-free, customizable gourmet cinnamon buns to the Sharks in 2014. Hoping to acquire $200,000 in exchange for a 20% stake in the company, Robert Herjavec initially made an offer.
I'll give you the $200,000 for 40%. But I don't want to do another store. I really like the idea of putting them in a nice little package and shipping them.
There's nothing on the table, so yeah, we would love to work with you.
All right, done. All right.
Unfortunately, the deal fell through after the show. There were conflicting ideas on Cinnaholic's future success and profit. Despite not being able to acquire the Sharks' funding, the Radkes have continued to expand their offerings and franchise locations. In May 2018, they had over 136 locations in development and currently had an expected revenue of $60.9 million. Being a nerd is cool. Don Hejny and his family founded Nerdwax, an all-natural product that's used to prevent glasses and sunglasses from slipping down the bridge of your nose. Don and his family went on to Shark Tank asking for $80,000 in exchange for a 20% stake of the company. Although the Sharks made offers, they were turned down. Don was also looking for mentorship from either Mark Cuban or Laurie, something that neither Shark could offer.
So at this time, I think that we respectfully have to decline those offers.
Following the show, the Journal reported, and sales went from $136,000 to nearly $1 million before the episode even aired. Today, Nerdwax can be found all over the world, from America to Thailand. Good on you, Nerdwax. See, being a nerd is cool. Spiked. Spikeball was a brainchild of Chris Rudder. And no, I know what you're thinking. This idea wasn't rejected because it's a spiked covered ball. Spikeball is actually a 2-on-2 game that resembles volleyball. Shark Daymond John was actually impressed with the idea and offered Chris $500,000 for 20% of the company.
I'll give you the $500,000, and my agenda will be to take that pain away, which is starting to do licensing, starting to do manufacturing, and shipping to the stores.
The deal fell apart because Daymond wanted Chris to allow Marvel Comics to make Spider-Man themed Spikeball sets, something which Chris had no interest in doing. Everything turned out for the better for Chris, because according to Forbes, Spikeball now has an annual revenue of $15 million. I guess not everyone needs their friendly neighbourhood superhero. So here's a question for you. Do you think there's any truth to the accusation some people make that food and drinks companies like Schlosser, Big Shake or Cinnaholic are less investable than tech companies? Is that why they got passed over? Imagine if Chef Gordon Ramsay came into the Shark Tank and offered the Sharks part of his business. Do you think they'd take him up on it? Do you think they'd take him up even if they knew what a shady past he has? Click here to watch our video about Gordon Ramsay and see just how shady he is. See you on the next video.